Failing to use a Roth when you should quite literally can cost you thousands of dollars of tax over your lifetime. Don't even get me started on the impact over multiple generations. I've got the most commonly overlooked times when you should have been using a Roth instead. I've got that and more coming up. I'm a big fan of the Roth. You guys know that. I get teased a little bit here by my colleagues and fellow CFPs over at Korhorn Financial Group. They know how much I love the Roth. It's not one size fits all, but there are far more opportunities to use a Roth than people utilize. It just drives me crazy. So I'm on a little bit of a campaign, and I want to point out the most commonly used times they're the most commonly missed times when people should have been using a Roth instead. But missing this, guys, can cost you thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars in taxes over your lifetime. And the impact is even greater when you look at multiple generations or tax on tax. And there's just countless ways to do this calculation. But let's just use, before we get into it, just a simple illustration. We'll just pick 1 year, one scenario. Okay, it's not one size fits all, but say you're 40. And the year that you're 40, you decide to contribute pre-tax, whether that's pre-tax to a 401k or a traditional IRA, and you contribute $7,500 pre-tax. Say you're in the 22% tax bracket, and you're fortunate that you're in the 22% tax bracket right now, and out there in retirement, you're in the 12% tax bracket. So let's say that is the base case, that's the scenario, and you think, well then yeah, I should be contributing pre-tax. Getting a 22% federal tax deduction on that $7,500 that you contribute at the age of 40, that's going to save you $1,650 of tax. You might say that's a win. Now let's say that $7,500 grows at an average rate of 8% until you're 65, until retirement. So 25 years of 8% compound growth. That $7,500 has now grown to over $51,000. So you might have gotten a tax deduction on that $7,500 that saved you $1,650, but now you have to pay tax on $51,000. See, the real benefit with the Roth isn't that you should have gotten a tax deduction or whatever. It's the growth. It's the tax impact on the growth, because then you pull that $51,000 out. Say you're in the 12% tax bracket. It's going to cost you over $6,100 of tax. So you avoided tax on the front end. So it didn't cost you any tax. It saved you, right? But now you're drawing $51,000 out. Say you can do it all in the 12% tax bracket. It's going to cost you $6,100 in tax. Versus if you contributed the same $7,500 in the year you're age 40 into the Roth side, the Roth IRA or the Roth 401k, you miss out. You miss out on that $1,650 tax savings. So it cost you $1,650. But now that has grown to over $51,000, and there's no more tax due on those dollars. So comparing the two, using the Roth in this simple scenario for just this 1 year, imagine doing this calculation each year over your lifetime. You would have saved $4,500 by doing the Roth instead of the pre-tax. And let's not even factor in potential income-related monthly adjustment amount that you avoid with the Roth and you would be subject to potentially if you had pre-tax, or the taxation on Social Security or required minimum distributions pushing you into a different tax bracket, potentially capital gains taxes and so on other dollars. The Roth just has so many benefits. I don't want you to miss out. It's not one size fits all, though. I'm just going to repeat that because you've got to be working with your certified financial planner who's doing a comprehensive financial planning, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life. That's the way to determine, okay, is it best for my unique financial situation this year, right now, to be contributing pre-tax or Roth? There are definitely times when it's going to make sense to contribute pre-tax. Don't miss out on the opportunities, though, when it's best for you to do the Roth. What are some of the most commonly overlooked times or situations where people should have used a Roth instead? I've got the top 3 right now. The most commonly overlooked time when someone should have been using the Roth, I'm going to lump them together, and that's an advanced planning strategy called a backdoor Roth IRA or even the mega backdoor Roth IRA. Why is this overlooked? You didn't know it was a rule. You didn't know that your circumstance fit appropriately for this backdoor Roth IRA or mega backdoor Roth IRA. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details about how those unique strategies work. There's huge opportunities, but there's also some landmines and some pitfalls. So it doesn't apply to everyone, but in this situation, for both of those strategies, you make too much money to make a just normal contribution directly to a Roth IRA. If you're wanting to make a contribution to a Roth IRA in this year, you've got to have earned income. You've got to have paycheck money. That's not dividends or capital gains or pension or Social Security. You got to have earned income. But if your total modified adjusted gross income is too high, then you actually can't contribute to a Roth IRA at all. And if that's you, you might look and say, well, see, I make too much. I can't contribute to a Roth. I'll just either save these dollars in the bank account or I'll invest them into a non-tax sheltered account, a brokerage account, individual joint account, something like that. And you miss out on funding the Roth via the backdoor, the two-step where you contribute after tax to your IRA and then convert it to the Roth. Or you're not aware that your retirement plan, your 401k through work offers or allows after-tax contribution above and beyond the pre-tax and Roth limits and the ability to do an in-plan conversion or in-service rollover withdrawal so that those after-tax dollars that you contribute then can be converted backdoor into the Roth. So that's the most common, that's the number one scenario where people should be contributing Roth and don't, is they're not aware, they're not taking advantage of the backdoor Roth or the mega backdoor Roth strategy. Work with your CFP on that. Second most common missed Roth opportunity at the beginning of your career or the end of your career. The beginning of your career, you're not thinking about retirement. This is a very stressful time financially. There's not an abundance of cash flow. There's really an abundance of opportunities and needs and very little cash flow. And so often it's easy to say, now I'm going to go to the concert. Now I've got to pay rent. Now I got to save up for the house. And those are all good things. However, those dollars that you contribute early on in your career, those are the ones, going back to that example of at year 40, do that same math at year 21, at age 21 or 22 or 25. Early in your career, the amount of compound growth that you have the chance of receiving tax-free is off the charts. It's better than any other point in your career. So missing out at the beginning of your career, I get it. Life's calling at you and a lot of things are vying for your dollars. That's a huge missed opportunity. And then right at the end of your career, I mentioned one of the requirements to be able to contribute to your Roth is you need earned income. I cannot tell you, it just happened last week. Can't tell you how many times I'm meeting with someone early in retirement and they look and say, oh, wait, isn't there a way for me to contribute some of this money that I have in the bank account or whatever into a Roth? Can't I contribute anymore? And it's, no, you need to have earned income. So in your final few years before you retire, or if you're semi-retired, working part-time, contributing to the Roth at that time so that you have tax diversification can really go a long way. And then finally, the third most common situation or circumstance when you overlook using a Roth, and that is if your retirement plan through your employer is a simple IRA, Why would I bring that up? Why is that one of the most common times? A simple IRA previously didn't have a Roth option. And now that it's legal to have a Roth option, I still haven't found one that does. They logistically, they're still trying to figure out, these plans are still trying to figure out, well, how do we add the Roth and all the infrastructure to make that possible? Typically, if you work for a small business and they've got a simple IRA, which is a very common retirement plan for small businesses, there isn't a Roth option. And so many people say, well, I got to get the match. I'm going to contribute what I need to get the match. And they do so pre-tax only to realize, or maybe not realizing that they're in a very, very, very low tax bracket and they really should have been contributing to the Roth. Now you might say, shouldn't they get the match? Yes. And so here's the opportunity. Contribute just enough pre-tax to get the match and then have all of your other retirement savings go Roth IRA or backdoor Roth, whatever the situation may be. As you can tell, I love the Roth. I don't want you to miss out on the potential tax savings that it offers. It's not one size fits all. Work with your certified financial planner. Do that proactive tax planning work to see what makes the most sense for you. Pre-tax contributions for this season, or when is it better, or is it better for you to be contributing to the Roth or doing even Roth conversions? Work with your CFP on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wise20show.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.